So we move from the wide receivers now to the tight ends. We're going to give you a starter, a guy to avoid, and a potential streaming option. For me, it's Vance McDonald as the starter, Graham as the guy to sit, and Disley as the one to stream. For McDonald, hopefully what we saw last week with Mason Rudolph is a sign of things to come. He scored 2 touchdowns, had 4 of his 7 targets from Rudolph, and you're talking about a team that needs, I think, to start to focus on a little bit more of the playmakers that are making plays. What I mean by that is get Dante Moncrief off the field. Don't play Dante Moncrief anymore. Cut him. Not just fantasy. Cut him in reality. There should be a little bit more targets for Vance McDonald. I don't love him, but I like him as a starter. Jimmy Graham, cut him in fantasy. No catches last week. Will Disley scored 2 touchdowns last week. I think you'll see he'll emerge as the 3rd receiving threat for the Seahawks behind Tyler Lockett and behind DK Metcalf. If you are stuck at the tight end position, I like him better than Jimmy Graham. I like him better than Eric Ebron. I like him better than Jared Cook at this point. And so Disley available in a ton of leagues, as you see, 41% ownership on CBSSports.com. Dave, what are you doing with the tight ends position?
You picked up Greg Olsen off the waiver wire. Good for you. Now, start him against Arizona. This is a defense that allowed over 100 yards and a touchdown to T.J. Hockenson in his first ever NFL game, and to Mark Andrews last Sunday. They are terrible at covering tight ends, and what better option for an inexperienced quarterback like Kyle Allen to lean on than a veteran like Greg Olsen. So I'm going to continue to start him. I am not going to continue to start O.J. Howard. I know that last week might be a little bit of a fluke that he didn't have any targets. He had 5 in week 1. And I know that the Giants, they allowed 2 touchdowns to Dallas tight ends back in week 1. But I just don't like that he's only running 20 to 25 routes per game. They're using him as a blocker just as much as a receiver. Chris Godwin has dominated those short area targets. I think he's going to continue to. It's going to make it hard on O.J. Howard. He's become a touchdown or bust tight end, and I think he's going to bust. Speaking of touchdown or bust tight ends, Jason Witten has done exactly that. In the first 2 weeks of the season, he has scored. He now is at home against Miami. Michael Gallup is not going to play. I think there will be opportunities for Jason Witten to come up big in the end zone again. He is a top 12 tight end for me this week. Start Jason Witten. He's still out there in more than 50% of CBS leagues. So if you're tired of looking at O.J. Howard's mug, just go and start Jason Witten. Pull a rabbit out of your head.
Heath, a lot of people are wondering what to do with Jared Cook. Easy what to do with him this week, though, right?
Yeah, it's easy to sit him, and I don't have any problem dropping him, really. I mean, if you don't want to probably carry 2 tight ends. If you are carrying 2 tight ends, it's because you don't want to drop O.J. Howard or you're trying to stash Hunter Henry. Jared Cook is not that guy. Maybe pick him back up when Drew Brees comes back. I do think Austin Hooper just relatively close to a must-start every week now. 15 targets in the first 2 games of the season. And you're talking about a guy that has a career 78% catch rate. So he is going to put up the numbers in PPR. I'm streaming Vernon Davis. I'll give the same stat every week until Jordan Reed comes back, I guess. Now 13 games in the last 2 years with 4 targets, 10 games with 9.5 fantasy points. Didn't do it last week. He'll do it this week.
And Reed's still dealing with the concussion, as far as we know, has yet to clear the concussion protocol. So keep an eye on that if you are leaning on Vernon Davis as a streaming